Flyers versus the Newmarket Renegades, final game of the regular season. Telfer steps in to take the draw. Renegades player gets sent to the bench to fix his neck guard. Renegades win the draw back to their own blue line. Played to center ice. Honey almost stripped it. Renegades in the Flyer zone. Glove down by Dittman. A long shot from the blue line. Face off to the right of the Flyers goaltender. Telford at the draw shot. Pad save by Dittman. Rebound goes to the far corner, cleared to the point. Shot from out front, loose puck. Cleared out of the way by the Flyers. Telford, intended for Lunny, just out of his reach. Played back to Telford at the Flyers blue line. Lunny gets the red line and dumps it into the Renegade zone. Played around to the near half boards. Up to their own blue line and through center ice. Lunny with a great steal, brings it in over the far wing. Hits the brakes. Centers it to Andrade. Andrade couldn't bring it back into his stick. Funny from Andrade to Telford. Telford back to Andrade. Runs out of room. Renegades pick it up and bring it out of the zone. They'll get the red line and dump it into the Flyer zone. Off the side of the net, loose puck. Cleared to the near corner. Ambrosio steps in off the Sloan stick. He backhands that to Darling. Takes it up to the near line. Darling to DeCamillis at center ice. Just overskated it. Darling picks it up. In over the Renegades blue line to the far corner. Darling centers it off the side of the net. Ambrosio, loose puck out front. DeCamillis couldn't connect. Jeffrey Stedman throws it on net. Cleared out of the way by the Renegades to Way at the blue line. He steps around one. Lost it at the blue line. Renegades pick it up in the far wing. In over the Flyers blue line. Jeffrey Stedman couldn't clear it. Dumped back in behind the Flyers goal. Way sends it out the far side. The blue line kept in. Jeffrey Stedman behind. Loose puck out front. Shot. Dittman makes the save, and that was an early whistle. Oh, net was off. Steps in to take the draw to the left of Dittman. Bouncing puck picked up by Guglietti. He'll skate it to the blue line, kicks it out through neutral ice, and goes to chase it. Bit of interference there. Has the Renegade stick tied up in his skates. Nickel, Guglietti in the near corner, comes out to Felix. He doesn't get the shot off. Cleared to O'Shea at the blue line. He overskates. Nickel sends it to the far wing. Renegades chip it into the Flyer zone. O'Shea collects it behind his net, sends it to the near corner for Nickel. Nickel lost it there. Renegades chip it towards the Flyers goal. Dittman goes to play it, and Savory steals it. Guglietti at the half boards. Nickel and Savory helping him out. Nickel clears the zone, picked up by the Renegades at center ice. They'll send it right back into the far corner for O'Shea. O'Shea up to Felix on the far wing. Felix dumps it into the Renegade zone. Nickel chases him in. Renegades come out the other far side. Back in the Flyer zone. Centering pass, loose puck. Picked up by Andretti. He's got Telford on a break. Telford accepts that pass on his backhand. Walks in, shot. Bad save, rebound comes to the near corner. Renegades clear to their blue line and out through center ice. A pass at the red line. Back to the Renegades, they'll dump it in, and that'll be icing. .6:31 to go in the first period. Telford in for the draw. He wins it to Andretti with a quick shot. Walker saved by the goaltender. Renegades pick up the puck behind their net, send it out the near wing. To the half boards, up through center ice. Renegades around the Flyers defense. Cleared out of the way by Lunny. He gets that to the near corner. Telford and Andretti battling for it. Renegades got a piece out front. Loose puck, shot, missed wide. Rebound comes out the near corner. Andretti and Mass in the corner. Driven to the blue line and out of the zone. Renegades chip that puck back in. On Dittman, he's told to play it. Renegades coming in. Darling steps in to take the draw. Deep in the Flyer zone. One by the Renegades, pass back to the slot. Shot. Bad save by Dittman. I think that deflected off away. Renegades in the near corner. Played to the point. Going back in deep. Centering out front. Shot. Dittman comes across for the save. Loose puck. A little bit of shoving going on here. Darling back in for the draw. Another one won by the Renegades. Shot quickly. Pad saved by Dittman. Rebound cleared out by Way to the near boards. Renegades with possession still in the Flyer zone. Shot. Chest save by Dittman. Second rebound. They scored. Nichols steps in to take the draw after that Renegades goal. He wins it to Guglietti, back to Nickel. He'll send it into O'Shea. O'Shea circling in his own zone off the far boards to Felix. Dumped down into the Renegade zone. Puck settles down in the near corner for Guglietti. Pressures, gets it to Nickel, who dumps it in the corner. Back to Nickel. The Renegades strip that and come out the near wing. Through center ice, back in the Flyer zone. They'll send that to the opposite corner. Renegades were in offside. Savory's got some time, has a look with it. Savory to center ice. Intercepted by the Renegades. Back to Savory, he sends that to the Renegades blue line. They'll bring it back to the opposite direction. Guglietti in his own zone. Across to O'Shea. O'Shea off the boards to the blue line, kept in. Renegades out front. Thrown on net. They scored. .422 to go in the first period. Telford in for the draw. He wins it. Renegades grab the loose puck and pass it back to their point man. Up the far wing into the Flyer zone. Sloan keeps it there. Gets up to Lunny. Lunny all alone on the far wing. Andretti catches up. Lunny lifts it to Andretti. Just hits a skate. Andretti sends it back to the far corner for Lunny. Lunny brings it behind the Renegades goal. Andrade steps in to help him out, brings it to the corner. Out front for Telford. Telford with the shot, deflected through the legs and out the other side. Renegades to their own blue line. Telford keeps it in to Andrade along the half boards. He shovels it towards the net, picked off by the Renegades. Renegades, cross-ice pass, right on Mass's tape. Telford picks it up, gets it to Lenny, back to Telford. He'll get it in the zone, and the Flyers are offside. Darling steps in to take the draw. He wins that to DeCamillis, who shoves it in the zone. Renegades to the near boards, up to center ice. He'll backhand that into the Flyer zone to the near corner. Way. He sends it hard off the boards to the blue line, kept in by the Renegades. DeCamillis gets a piece of it to the near side, gets it to Ambrosio, sends it across to Darling and over the blue line. Darling to the corner. Out front for Ambrosio, just has a stick lifted. Renegades clear that up to the blue line and out. Renegades get center ice and chip it in off the boards down behind the Flyers goal. Way collects it in the corner, holds up his man, leaves it there for Darling. Darling up to the half boards for DeCamillis. Renegades players got there first. They'll chip it into the far corner. Jeffrey Stedman sends it along the far boards. Renegades chip it back in. Guess they figured the puck wasn't moving, so they blow it dead. Darling in for the draw, deep in the Flyer zone. Scrum draw in some feet. Renegades come up with it. They'll center it off the player's backhand. Couldn't get the shot off. Played to the point and back into the half boards. Darling picks it up in the near corner. He stops, kicks it up to his stick to Ambrosio. Ambrosio tried to send that to the blue line and out, but Way got a piece of it to clear to the half boards. Ambrosio behind the net to the far corner. Stopped there by the Renegades. Jeffrey Stedman straight to the Renegades player. Centering pass just out of his reach. Comes to the near boards. Darling. He'll finally clear the zone up to center ice. Renegades back in towards the Flyer zone. Darling to DeCamillis. He'll bring it in over the blue line. Ambrosio steps in to help. Ambrosio with a shot, blocker save. Puck settles down and behind the Renegades goal, and they'll pick it up in the far corner. Felix, fresh off the bench, intercepts that play a little bit. Renegades deep in the Flyer zone, centering pass shot, missed wide, rebound in the near corner. Out front, Jeffrey Stedman clears that away to the near boards for Felix. Felix out over the Flyers blue line, down the near wing, gets the blue line. Nickel couldn't get a stick on it. Neither could Guglietti. Renegades along the near boards. Backhand that in the Flyers' end. O'Shea collects it back in the near corner. To the blue line, kept in by the Renegades. Takes a funny hop off the glass. Renegades pick it up. Cross ice pass to the far side. Shot. Just saved by Dittman. Rebound. Dittman holds that for a whistle. 30 seconds to go in the first period. Flyers down by 2. Nickel in for the draw. Has it in his feet. Renegades pick it up. They'll walk out front. Shot. Saved by Dittman. Rebound cleared to the far corner. Savory to Nickel to Felix. Intercepted. Back to Nickel. Felix gets a backhand on it. Clears the zone. Felix through center ice in over the Renegades blue line. Lost it there. Flyer Nickel couldn't get a stick on it. He was on the wrong side of the player. Cleared around to the half boards. Renegades to the blue line. Kept in by Felix. Guglietti ran out of time. Oh. Yeah, no problem. Flyers better do something in the second period because they were outplayed in the first. Here we go, start the second period. Nichols steps in to take the draw. Won by the Renegades, back in their own zone. Guglietti applying pressure. Renegades chip it up to the far wing. Through center ice, O'Shea keeps it out. Dumped back in by the Renegades. To the far corner. Savory back to collect the puck. Tries to send it off the far boards, picked off by the Renegades. Up to Guglietti now. Guglietti down the far wing, runs out of room. Renegades send that back in the Flyers' end. That'll be icing. Telford steps in to take the draw, deep in the Renegade zone. Andrade's shot, missed high over the net. Rebound comes to the near boards, picked up by the Renegades. They'll clear it to the blue line and out. Renegades back in the Flyer zone. O'Shea to break it up. Loose puck. Dittman comes up with a save. Telford picks up that loose puck. Skates it up to his own blue line and out. Down the far wing, gets the red line under pressure. Drags it in over the blue line. Andrade to Lunny. Lunny lets the shot go, didn't get all of it. Easy save by the Renegades goaltender. Off the near boards. To center ice, O'Shea. He gets shoved off the puck. Renegades pick it up in the Flyers' end. Loose puck. Dittman makes it a save. Loose puck again in the blue paint. Cleared out behind the net to the near corner. And the net's off. Telford in for the draw. Renegades win another one. Back to the point. Shot deflected. Loose puck off the post. No goal, and they call it in. Darling steps in to take the draw. And the Renegades player gets waved out of the circle. Darling off the draw, gets it to Ambrosio in over the blue line. Ambrosio to the near wing. To the blue line, Renegades drive it out. They'll chip it into the Flyers' end. Icing's waved off. Mass picks it up behind his own net, sends it to the corner to the half boards. For Ambrosio, he gets that to center ice. Darling just overskated it. Renegades back in the Flyers' end. Renegades behind the Flyers' goal. Deacon Mills does a good job getting him off the puck. Sloan chips it to the near corner for Darling. Darling gets to the blue line, but no further. Renegades pass back in. Mass reaches. Gets the puck to settle down on his stick. Up to Darling. Darling down the far wing. Lost it at the Renegades blue line. They'll turn around and bring it back out. Up to Mass, center ice. Mass back in the zone. Renegades clear it out to center ice. Mass with a good stick, gets a piece of it. Back to Darling. Darling through center ice, in over the blue line. Darling walks in, he scores! Flyers goal scored by number 39, Hudson Darling. 12:15 to go in the second period. Nickel steps in after that Flyers goal to take the draw. Scrum draw. Guglietti shovels it over the blue line. Renegades pick it up in the far corner, bring it behind their net to the near side. To the half boards. Cross ice to the far wing and back in the Flyers zone. Centering pass picked up by Felix. This pass intended for Nickel hops over his stick. Renegades pick it up in neutral ice. Renegades back in the Flyers end. Lets a shot go. Dittman will cover that. Nickel in for the draw. He wins it cleaned away, way off the far boards, picked off by the Renegades. They'll get the puck to the corner and pick it up behind the Flyers net. Way and Nickel on the puck carrier, and they'll blow it down. It's not being moved. Eleven and a half minutes to go in the second period. Nickel in for the draw. Won by the Renegades to the point. Backhand into the corner. Shoveled towards the Flyers goal. Picked off by the Renegades. And Way's going to the box for hooking there. Or tripping. Pretty sure it was a hook, but whatever. $11:23 to go in the first period. Telford in to take the draw for the Flyers. Telford wins it clean to O'Shea. O'Shea sends that to the blue line, down the ice. That'll settle down behind the Renegades goal. Andretti in on the forecheck. Renegades to the near half boards. Telford almost had that one. Picked up by the Renegades. They'll bring it up the near wing. Through neutral ice into the Flyers zone. To the near corner. Walk, shot, missed wide. Rebound goes to the far point. Puck's kept in. O'Shea with a great stick gets a piece of it to Andretti, who sends it down the ice. Andretti peels off, lets Telford go in for the forecheck. Pass intercepted by Andretti. He's alone, lets a shot go off the crossbar, over the net, and into the mesh. Face off in the Renegade zone to the left of the goaltender. Darling steps in to take it. Won by the Renegades to the near wing. They'll pass it across ice, through neutral ice, and back in the Flyers zone. Sloan all over his man. Dittman covers that puck for the whistle. Minute 6 to go on the Flyers penalty. Darling steps in for the draw. Renegades win it to the point. Shot. Blocker saved by Dittman. Rebound comes to Mass in the near corner. He'll send it out the far side to the half boards. Renegades dump it back in. Mass back along the far boards. Pops over the Renegades defense. That puck will settle down at center ice. Renegades up the near wing to the Flyers blue line. Lunny got a piece of it and sends it down into the Renegade zone. Lunny in on the forecheck. Renegades played out the far wing. Darling stops it there at center ice and sends it back in the zone. Lunny in hard. He'll get there first. Picks up the loose puck behind the Renegades goal. Lunny still with the puck in the far corner. Has the stick tied up. Kicks it back to the corner before he pins it there. Darling steps in to help. Darling back to Lunny in the corner. And 4 Renegades players before Lunny gets taken down. DeCamillis steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. 10 seconds to go on the penalty. Renegades win another one. They lost it. DeCamillis was peeling back for D. Renegades out the near wing. Up to the Flyers blue line and in into the zone. Renegades circling. Back to 5-on-5. Maas gets a piece of it to DeCamillis. DeCamillis sees Darling at the Renegades blue line. He's alone. Darling scores! Flyers goal scored by number 39 in the second of the period. Hudson Darling, assisted by number 7, Luca DeCamillis. 9:09 to go in the second period. Darling wins it right to the Renegades defense, who sent it up the far wing. Way gets a piece of it to center ice. Ambrosio had his stick through his legs. Had to slow down. Stopped on the blue line. Ambrosio passed it out to Way. He lets a shot go on target. Renegades goalie sets it out to play it. DeCamillis on the forecheck. Renegades played out the near wing. Cross ice to the far blue line. Up through center ice. Back in the Flyer zone. Jeffrey Stedman swipes at it, gets it to DeCamillis, just ahead of Ambrosio at the Renegades blue line. They'll send it off the far boards. Back in the Flyer zone, Darling intercepts that. Where's the hooking calls, ref? Back to Jeffrey Stedman at the red line. He dumps it into the zone. Ambrosio and DeCamillis in on the forecheck. Renegades player hits the brakes, comes out the near wing. Felix couldn't hold the blue line. Oh, kept it in. Back to DeCamillis in the corner. DeCamillis tries to throw it out front, hits a couple sticks. Cleared to the near boards by the Renegades. Ambrosio and DeCamillis in along the boards. And they'll get a whistle. These refs are pretty quick on that whistle. Let them play, boys. Nickel steps in for the draw. Nickel wins it through Felix. Felix with a shot, missed wide of the net. Guglietti with the rebound, throws it on net. Pad save. Back to Guglietti in the far corner. He spins, centers it. Renegades clear to the blue line. Savory has his shot blocked. Keeps it in at the blue line to the half boards. To Felix. Bouncing puck rolls towards the Renegades goal. They'll pick it up, send it to the near boards. Nickel on his man, gets a piece of it out front. Felix with a shot. Goalie had to react pretty quick, gets the pad down for the save. Renegades clear to the blue line. Savory's there, he lets a shot go, missed it wide again. Renegades fired out the far wing. O'Shea at the blue line keeps it in. Puck behind the Renegades goal to the near corner. Fired hard around the boards. Savory has it hop over his stick and the Renegades down the near wing. In over the Flyers blue line to the far or near corner. Centering pass picked off by O'Shea. He'll get that to the far side. Guglietti at the half boards. He'll skate it up out of the Flyer zone. Cross ice to Felix. He runs out of room. Loose puck in some feet. Nickel couldn't get a stick on it. O'Shea jumps on it. Dumps it back in the Renegade zone. Flyers clear. They'll go for a change. Renegades up the far wing. To center ice, almost picked off by Telford. Puck settles down on the Flyers blue line for Savory. clears it. Renegades bring it back in. Shot off the side of the Flyers goal, picked up by Lunny. Lunny just clears the zone through center ice, just in over the Renegades blue line. Renegades up the near wing. To the Flyers blue line, Savory gets it to center ice. Renegades send it back the opposite direction. Savory to Lunny, he stabs it in over the blue line. Telford steps in to help. Loose puck, kicked out over the zone by the Renegades. And over the Flyers blue line, he'll take it to the far wing. Renegades, Telford with a good stick, gets it to Andrade. Andrade alone at the far wing, gets the red line and dumps it in the zone. Renegades pick it up behind their own net, send it cross ice to the far wing. Mass got a piece of it, but not enough to get it to Andrade. Sloan, backhand pass to Telford. Telford brings up the near wing, gets the blue line and sends it in. Darling in on the forecheck in the far corner. He gets bumped hard into the boards. Renegades pick it up. Send it out the near wing. Sloan has to go off his skate. He gets a piece of it and dumps it back in the zone. Camillus had to clear. Renegades out the far wing, through center ice and back in the Flyer zone. He'll walk out front, shot, off the post, rebound. Comes right out front, clear to the far wing. Ambrosio in over the blue line, drops it for Darling. He gets pressured in the far corner, centering pass. Loose puck in front, in some feet. Ambrosio couldn't get enough of it. Darling just out of his reach. Renegades clear the zone. Darling capitalized, grabs the puck, brings it back in the Flyers' end, sends it to the blue line for Ambrosio. He'll get it up to DeCamillis at the red line. DeCamillis splits the D before he gets hooked, and they'll get that one. .4:13 to go in the second period. Flyers are on the power play. Nickel steps in to take the draw. Won by the Renegades to the near boards. They'll wind up and fire it hard down the ice. That's on target. Dittman plays it up to Jeffrey Stedman. Stedman up to Guglietti at center ice. Renegades cleared out of the blue line right there. Jeffrey Stedman back up to Guglietti on the far wing. In over the blue line. He chips it around the defender before he gets taken down. Guglietti gets it to Felix behind the Renegades goal. Out front for Nickel. Nickel shot. Bad save. Waited just a second too long. Guglietti and Felix behind the Renegades goal. Felix walks out with it. Shot. Bad save. Felix picks up that loose puck. Doesn't get the shot off his skate. Renegades pick it up. Skate it up towards the blue line and out. Way blocks that clearing attempt. Nickel picks it up just over the blue line. Renegades cleared out the far wing. Way with a shot from center ice. On target. Flyers are still offside. Renegades cleared down the near wing. Jeffrey Stedman picks it up in his own zone. 1 minute to go on the Flyers penalty. Way. Stretch pass. Touched by a Renegades player. That'll come to the near corner. Lunny. Along the boards. Telford helps him out. Loose puck. Squirts off the boards. Renegades pick it up and bring it down the ice. In over the Flyers blue line through the defense. Shot. Dittman with the save. He'll hold that for a whistle. Telford steps in to take the draw. He wins it. Savory along the boards to Lunny. He picks it up at center ice and brings it in over the blue line. Lunny peels wide to the corner. Centering pass for Andrade. Gets the backhand off. Missed just wide. Telford in the far corner. Sends it to O'Shea at the point. His shot was blocked. Renegades pick it up there. Misplayed. Backhand in over the Flyers blue line. O'Shea all over his man. Shot off the side of the net. Jam play, no goal. That'll do it for the Flyers power play. Back to 5-on-5, 2:13 to go in the period. Telford in for the draw. Won by the Renegades. They'll get that to the far corner. Telford gets a piece of it to the half boards. Stripped there by the Renegades. One touch, centering pass off the post, loose puck. Dittman squeezed that for a whistle. Telford on the draw, won by the Renegades. To the point, shot missed wide. Rebound to the near corner. Renegades are all over it. Andrade tries to backhand that to Lunny, picked off by the Renegades. Back to Telford, to the near boards for Lunny. Lunny chips it off the boards down the near wing. Renegades grab that in their own zone and dump it up to center ice. Savory misfired, picked off by the Renegades. Back in the Flyers' end. Savory clears the zone. Renegades just fire a pack in the Flyers' end. They weren't getting pressured. Renegades still offside. Telford to center ice. Dittman makes a good save off the side of the glove. Loose puck. Telford blocks that dump in. Darling kicks it forward to his stick at center ice. Darling offside. Last second move of the blue line. One minute to go in the second period. Darling in for the draw. Darling wins it forward, in over the blue line, gets it to the far boards for Ambrosio, chips it in deeper. DeCamillis picks up the loose puck, hits the brakes, throws it back to Ambrosio at the corner. Shot missed just wide. Rebound comes to the near boards for Sloan. And they're sending DeCamillis to the box. 2 minutes for head contact. Sun is down, freezing cold. That's how we already know. When it's here, that's just how you know you don't know. I'll try to show. 45 seconds to go in the second period. Darling steps in to take the draw deep in the Flyers zone. Scrum draw. Ambrosio got a piece of it before he gets shoved. Ambrosio picks it up, sends it through the blue line, all the way down on target. Renegades goaltender plays that out to the near wing. Renegades bring it behind their net to the far corner. Up to center ice. Mass back to center ice. Ambrosio lifts the stick. Renegades chip it in to the near side. That'll settle down behind the Flyers goal. Sloan sends it to the far boards. Renegades back in. Sloan got a piece of it. His clearing attempt hits a couple players. Darling picks up the loose puck in the far corner. He'll hold that for the last couple seconds. That'll do it for the second period. .116 to go in the Flyers penalty. We'll start third period. Felix steps in to take the draw. Flyers have 1:16 to go on their penalty. Renegades win it back to their blue line. Guglietti hard on the forecheck. Renegades up the near wing, in over the Flyers' blue line. Shot from out front. Dittman makes the glove save. Rebound cleared out of the way by Felix to Guglietti, who sends that to center ice. Renegades dump it back in the Flyers' zone. Way sends it out front. Takes a funny bounce. Luckily misses the Renegades forward. It's right there. Renegades back in over the Flyers' blue line. Shot missed wide. Rebound settles down in the near corner. Renegades send it behind the Flyers' goal. Way again through center ice, all the way down. Missed just wide of the net, and it'll settle down in the near corner. Renegades pick it up in their own zone. Passed up to center ice to Way. He fires it hard off the boards to the far corner of the Renegade zone. Guglietti gets tripped up on the forecheck. Renegades to their blue line. Shovel pass up to the Flyers' blue line and in. Shot, blocked or pad save by Dittman. Rebound in the near corner. 5 seconds to go on the Flyers' penalty. Renegades with possession. Centering pass, shot. Dittman makes the save, rebound. Dittman makes another save. Guglietti jams it in there against Dittman's pads for the whistle. Telford on the draw, one by the Renegades, shot missed just wide. O'Shea in the far corner. Telford steps in to help. The refs are given about half a second with the puck along the boards before they blow it dead. Telford back in for the draw. Scrum play. Renegades come up with it. Shot blocked in front, cleared to the blue line and out. Renegades dump it back in the zone. Savory. Cross ice for Andrade at the blue line. He shovels that to center ice. Back into Andrade. Just off target for Lunny. Cleared to the Flyers' blue line. Kept out by Savory. Rebound. Dumped back in by the Renegades. To the near corner for O'Shea. He'll send it off the boards for Andrade. Centers it to the blue line and out. Renegades dump it back in the Flyers' zone. O'Shea under pressure, lost it at the blue line. Renegades back to O'Shea. You got a stick in the way. Loose puck. Finally picked up by Andrade. He'll skate it up, pass it out over the blue line. To Lunny, almost off to a break. Dumped back in by the Renegades. Cleared to the far board. Savory to the blue line. To Telford, who helps it to center ice. Off the linesman. Dumped back in by the Renegades. Up to Lunny on the far wing. He steps around the defender. Lunny in on the far wing. Under pressure shot. Missed just wide of the net. Rebound comes to the near boards. Andrade and Ambrosio steps in. Renegades come up with it. Bring it down the near wing. In over the Flyers' blue line. 2-on-1. Cross ice pass. Couldn't handle it. Savory in the far corner. Gets it to Lunny along the half boards. He'll chip it up to the blue line. Darling gets it to Ambrosio on the far wing. Back to him. Darling in offside. .11:47 to go in the third period. Darling steps in to take the draw. He wins it forward right to the defender, clears it to center ice. Mass dumps it back in off the DeCamillis' puck along the near half boards. Mass throws it in on net. Blocker saved by the goaltender. Rebound comes out the far side to the far corner. Renegades through some traffic get it up to the blue line and out. Renegades back in the Flyers zone to the near corner. Darling picks it up, sends it behind the Flyers goal. Some miscommunication. Darling, the DeCamillis had it stuck in his skate, back in. Darling gets tripped up, and the Renegades will touch that for a whistle. Flyers back to the power play. 11:06 to go in the third period. Darling steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. Darling wins it. Gets it to Sloan at the point. Sloan with the shot. Deflected. Comes to the near corner. Renegades pick it up. Darling gets it off the boards. Renegades off of Darling's foot back into the half boards. Ambrosio spins to Darling. Just hopped over his stick. Goes in behind the Renegades goaltender. DeCamillis bounces off a Renegades player. They'll fire that down the far wing into the Flyers zone. Mass collects it. In his feet. Throws it out front. DeCamillis picks that puck up. Brings it out over the zone through center ice. DeCamillis in over the blue line. Runs out of real estate. Renegades overskated it. Cleared to the blue line. Kept in by Sloan with the shot. Locked in front. Ambrosio with the rebound. Couldn't hold on to it. Cleared to the blue line. Kept in by Sloan. Back to the Renegades, who'll fire it hard down the far wing. 1 minute to go in the Flyers power play. Mass picks up the loose puck, brings it up the near wing. It's taken down, no call. Puck cleared to the blue line, no further shot. Missed just wide. Felix taps that to the Flyers blue line for Guglietti. Kept there by the Renegades. Played off the boards. Sloan picks it up to Felix at the blue line. Felix in traffic, gets the blue line in onside before he gets taken down. No call. Renegades dump that to center ice. Sloan kept it, gets it to Guglietti. Guglietti back in the Renegade zone. He's hooked big time. And that'll be a penalty again. Five on three for 16 seconds or less. .9:22 to go in the third period. Nichols steps in for the draw. Renegades win another. Played it to the near corner, picked up by Felix. Felix sends it across the far wing. Renegades dump that puck down the ice. That'll just about do it for the one penalty. Way in the near corner, picks it up. Waits for the Flyers to get set up. Stretch pass to Felix. Renegades intercept that and bring it back the other direction. In over the Flyers blue line, shot from the point. Steered wide by Dittman to the near corner. Renegades with possession deep in the Flyers zone. Played to the point, shot. Dittman will glove that and hold it for a whistle. Minute 20 to go on the Flyers power play. Telford steps in for the draw. He wins that clean to O'Shea. O'Shea off the near boards for Andrade. To Savory, up to Lunny, off his backhand, up through neutral ice. Renegades send that puck back in the Flyer zone. Two hands on your stick, boys. Savory picks it up, sends it out the near wing. To Andrade at the half boards. To O'Shea. Flyers are waiting for it. O'Shea gets a piece of it, up to Telford at the blue line. Telford gets the red line and dumps it in the zone. Lunny in on the forecheck. Renegades cleared out to the blue line. Held there by O'Shea. Second effort by the Renegades. Cleared that puck down the ice. Telford back in his own zone. To Savory on the opposite wing. Savory to Lunny at center ice. Lunny in over the blue line. Takes it wide. Hits the brakes. Poke check by the Renegades. Lunny got a piece of it. Kept it in. Andrade, stick handling, has it in his feet. Puck comes to the near corner. Renegades are on that. They'll send it out the opposite side. Lunny at the half boards. Dumps it back in for Andrade. Andrade under pressure. Puck comes to the near corner. Telford Telford throws it towards the net. Goaltender will just cover it for a whistle. Back to 5-on-5. 7:16 to go in the third period. Darling in for the draw. Wins it out front of the net. Picked up by the Renegades. They'll turn, send it up the opposite wing. Darling gets back to collect it. Gets it to Sloan. Sloan to DeCamillis at center ice. Just runs out of room. Renegades send it back in the zone. Mass dumps that to center ice. Renegades off the near boards. In over the blue line. Mass holds him there. He'll skate it out. Cross ice for DeCamillis. DeCamillis spinning at the red line. Dumps it into the Renegade zone. Darling picks it up behind the net. He gets shoved into the boards. And DeCamillis is going to the box. .35 to go in the third period. Flyers need to find that extra gear here. Darling in for the draw. Darling wins it to Mass off the near boards. They'll come to the point. Renegades dump it back in the zone. Sloan swipes at it, gets it to the far point. Shot deflected to the far corner. Pass around the near wing. Back up to the point with the Renegades. Shot from there. Missed wide. Rebound out the far side. Shot. Scored. Nickel in for the draw. He wins it. Clean, backed away at the blue line. Way sends it. Nope, misfired. Gets the puck to center ice for Nickel. Nickel has the stick lifted. Renegades back in their own zone. Nickel applying pressure. Renegades up to the blue line and out. Way at center ice sends it in. Nickel hits it with the high stick. Touched by the Renegades to negate that. Pass through, Way winds up from the center ice, lets the shot go way wide of the net. Flyers have to clear the zone. Back away at the red line, missed wide. Renegades bring it up the far wing to center ice. Guglietti stops him there. Nickel gets taken out. Renegades pick up the loose puck back in the Flyers zone. In over the blue line, centering pass behind everybody. Felix races to the far corner, gets beat out by the Renegades. They'll pick it up behind the Flyers' goal. Out the near side, through everybody's feet, Felix. And tried to hit Guglietti, comes back to Felix. He gets his stick lifted. Back to the Flyers' blue line. Renegades back in the Flyers' zone to the near corner, out front. Loose puck, shot, scored. Telford in for the draw. Telford wins it. Renegades pick it up. Pass it up through center ice to the Flyers' blue line. Savory has a look. Gets it to Lunny on the far wing. Lunny in over the blue line. Takes it to the far corner to Andretti. Backhand missed just wide. Rebound to the near corner. Telford. Nope. Renegades to the blue line. Kept in by O'Shea. He'll get it to Telford, to Andrade. Andrade walks in off the boards. Shot blocked, deflected over the glass and into the mesh. Telford in for the draw. Scrum draw picked up by Telford in the ref skates. To Andrade along the boards. Renegades back to Telford, to Andrade. He'll get it to the corner. Renegades pick it up, send it to the half boards. Telford centers it, intercepted by the Renegades. They'll throw that to center ice. O'Shea off the near boards for Telford. Telford tried to send it across for Lunny at the blue line. Deflected to Savory. He'll dump it in. Renegades player overskated it behind his net. Played out the far wing. Out over the blue line to the near wing. Back in the Flyers zone to the near corner. Renegades with possession, centering attempt. Savory got a piece of it, clears it to the point. Shot blocked in front by Savory. Back to the blue line. Another shot tipped high over the net. Rebound out the far side. Savory to Lunny. He steps around two attackers. Chips it off the glass to the blue line. Gets it to Ambrosio, who shovels it out of the zone. Back to Ambrosio at center ice. He's in over the blue line. Renegades clear it back up to center ice. DeCamillis. Darling just overskated it. Renegades turn, fire it into the Flyers' end. 3 minutes to go in the third period. O'Shea to Ambrosio, just missed it. Dumped back into the Flyers' zone by the Renegades. DeCamillis picks it up. Skates around 1-2. In over the blue line. In traffic. DeCamillis gets pinned. That'll be a penalty. To Ambrosio, couldn't pull the trigger. Cleared to the blue line and all the way down the ice. Sloan picks it up. The Flyers don't realize that the Renegades are getting a penalty. Renegades to the box, 2 minutes for interference. Darling steps in to take the draw. Renegades forward, gets waved out of the face-off circle. Darling gets tied up, gets the puck to DeCamillis, to Sloan at the point. Sloan lets a shot go, deflected. Loose puck goes behind the Renegades' goal. They'll send it out to the far half boards. And then turn and fire it down the ice. Puck settles down in the near corner. Renegades beat out the winger. Still with possession in the near corner of the Flyers zone. Renegades dump it back in. Maas battling for it. DeCamillis steps in. That'll get a whistle. Nickel in for the draw. He wins it to Guglietti along the half boards. Guglietti out over the blue line. Cuts back to the near wing. Guglietti under pressure, gets it to the corner, throws it out front. Jeffrey Stedman steps in. Shot blocked in front. Renegades have a step in over the Flyers' blue line. Shot, blocker saved by Dittman, rebound out the far side. Felix and Jeffrey Stedman battling it out along the boards. Loose puck picked up by Felix. He'll shovel that to Guglietti at the blue line. Renegades pick it up at center ice, dump it back in the Flyers zone. Way hard off the boards to the blue line, kept in by the Renegades. Their shot goes wide. Renegades, it's 5-on-4 here, boys. Nickel picks up that loose puck, up to Guglietti at center ice, in over the blue line, cuts through the defense, And Renegades are going back to the box. 1 minute to go in the third period. We've got a 5-on-3 face-off in the Renegade zone. Probably where you pull your goalie and put another skater out there. Telford in for the draw. He wins it. Andrade has it in his skates. Andrade turns, fires off the pants of the Renegades. They'll fire it hard off the boards to the blue line, kept in by Jeffrey Stedman. He sends it into the corner. Renegades to the corner. Lunny back to Andrade. Couldn't handle the pass. Puck goes back to the corner. Renegades fire it down the boards. Use your body along the boards. Dittman steers that to the near corner. Renegades player will hold it there. Way. He's going to the box. 24.5 seconds to go in the period. Four on four for the rest of the game. Andrade steps in for the draw. He wins it back to O'Shea. O'Shea off the near boards. The Renegades back to O'Shea. He has it tied up. Renegades pick it up in the far corner or near corner. Thrown out front. Cleared out to the near boards by Savory. Renegades keep the puck in the Flyers' end. Thrown on net. Dittman keeps it out with the post sealed back to the blue line. Shot. Had saved by Dittman, and that'll do it for the game.